Okay, this is going to be a video on how to do your air brake test and your in-cab inspection. We're going to start off by telling them I'm going to go ahead and start my air brake test, and I'm going to need a full tank of air. Flick your key to the right. Make sure you identify the ABS light. My ABS light is on, and now it is off, indicating that my ABS is working properly. I'll go ahead and turn on my vehicle and fill up my air tanks. Your tanks may or may not be full. Either way, start off by pumping your brakes 3 times. Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and let that air tank fill up. Okay, my air tanks are full. I know this because the needle has stopped rising. The first test I'm going to be conducting is going to be my leak test. For my leak test, I should not lose more than 4 psi within 1 minute. So we're going to go ahead and put this truck in first gear. Okay, just gently put it in gear. Shut off the engine. Okay, we're going to turn the key to the right. Make sure all of our gauges are working properly, that they're on and they're working accurate. And we're gonna release the tractor and trailer supply knobs. I'm gonna wait for my needle to stabilize. While that's happening, I'm gonna go ahead and get my timer and set it to 0. Okay. Now I'm gonna go ahead and press and hold the brake. Press it, hold it. You're gonna see that your gauge is gonna drop a little bit. Okay. So once the needle stabilizes, you guys have to identify where it's stabilized at. Okay. Right now, I am reading that my gauge settled. The needle settled at 100 psi. So my needle is at 100 psi, and my minute starts now. Okay, I'll be back after the minute. Okay, so it's getting close to my minute. My minute is now over, and it looks like I lost 0 psi. Go ahead and let go of the brake. Next test I will be performing is going to be my lower warning light. My lower warning light should appear no lower than 55 psi. So what I'm going to have to do here now is I'm going to go ahead and press the pedal, let go, and watch my gauge. Okay, press the pedal again, and I'm watching my gauge, trying to see when the alarm or the light or the buzzer turn on. Pump again. Needles dropping. Needles dropping. Pump again. There it is, 70. So my lower warning light appeared at 70 psi. Now I'm going to go ahead and perform my spring brake test. For this test, my spring brake should pop out between 20 and 45 psi. All you have to do for this test is go ahead and fan your brake. So pump, 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 pump. You want to watch your gauge, and we're going to see when they pop out. There was the first one at 30, and there is the second one at 25. So my trailer brake popped out at 30. My tractor brake popped out at 25. Next, I'm going to go ahead and conduct and test my trailer, tractor, and service brakes. For this test, I will be required to have a full tank of air. Go ahead and put your truck in neutral. Turn on your truck. Start building up your air pressure. So let's fill up the tanks. Okay, now that my tanks are full, I'm going to go ahead and let the examiner know what test I will be testing. So right now I'm going to go ahead and test my trailer brakes So I want to make sure I release my tractor brakes. I'm going to put the truck in first gear. Okay. And I'm going to slightly let go of the clutch. Okay. Once I feel the truck shake or tug, like I did now, right there, my trailer brakes are holding. Now I'm going to go ahead and test my tractor brakes. Release your, apply your parking brake, release your trailer brakes. So right now I'm testing my parking brakes. Do the same procedure. In gear, slightly let off the clutch. Once you feel the truck shake, my tractor brakes are holding. Now I'm gonna go ahead and test my service. Your service brakes are these. So we're gonna go ahead and release tractor and trailer brakes. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and go forward a little bit. Let the truck go forward, okay? And then we're gonna press on our brakes. My service brake is holding. Put it in neutral. Set your brakes. After you finish this, let the examiner know that you're done with your air brake test. Now you're going to continue on with your in-cab inspection. I'm going to go ahead and now continue with my in-cab, and I'm going to begin with my gauges. I have my water gauge. The water gauge tells me the temperature of the water going to the engine. It should range anywhere from 170 to 210 degrees Fahrenheit. My oil gauge lets me know how much oil pressure is going to the engine. It should range from 20 to 60 psi. My tachometer gauge lets me know how many revolutions per minute the engine is turning. My speedometer gauge lets me know how fast my vehicle is going. My voltmeter gauge lets me know how many volts are going to the battery. It should range between 13 to 15 volts. My fuel gauge lets me know how much fuel I have in my tank. And my primary gauge lets me know how much my air pressure gauges lets me know how much air I have in my primary and secondary air tanks. All of my gauges are working properly and mounted and secure.